Now, for us, this single metric has primacy over just about anything else that's ever been looked at in terms of fitness. Would you take an increase in strength if it meant a decrease in work capacity across broad time and modal domains? I say that would be a foolish choice. Would you take an increase in VO2 max if it decreased your work capacity across broad time and modal domains? Again, I think that would be a foolish choice. How about lactate threshold? How about resting heart rate? How about body composition? Do you think it likely that you're going to cut your Fran time in half while gaining 50 pounds of fat? I'll tell you right now, it isn't going to happen. And what we're seeing is that this increased work capacity correlates beautifully to favorable adaptations across any of these correlates that are traditionally looked at. VO2 max, lactate threshold, muscle mass, even the 10 general physical skills, stamina, strength, flexibility, coordination, accuracy, agility, balance. You understand that in a single movement like, say, clean and jerk, 135 pounds, 30 reps, what is that workout? That's grace. That an increase, a precipitous fall in your grace time, that is, it used to take you 7 minutes to do it, now it takes you 2.5. That isn't going to come about if you got fat, if you lost some coordination, accuracy, agility, or balance, if your stamina had decreased, if your strength had decreased. It's very unlikely that you'll have made that change. Could it be that your strength would decrease to make that possible? Sure. We've worked with, have people within this community that have 500-pound cleans and jerks. They're nationally competitive in that. We also know their Fran time, it's quit after one round where it took 8 minutes. Now in that case, would that individual, were he looking for a broad general inclusive fitness, would that be a worthwhile change to take your clean and jerk from 500 down to 250? If you could take your Fran from tapping out at 8 rounds in the first minute to completing the whole thing in 3? Lots of nodding. Let me see some heads shake up and down. Yes. If your goal was to provide a broad general inclusive fitness, a fitness whose specialty was not specializing. When you have a scenario where a single metric would have, in your mind, in your estimation, primacy over all of the others, then I'm going to suggest to you that those others are but correlates. And they may or may not be useful, may or may not be interesting, but I certainly wouldn't in any case take a decrease in work capacity for an increase in any one of the correlates or the general physical skills or any other metric I know of. This leads us to kind of the stunning, if not revolutionary, claim that fitness is work capacity across broad time and modal domains. You want to be able to do a lot of work on the short end, mid-range, and long range. And what kind of work? Let me hear it. Functional. Functional.